Welcome back to another episode of God Concept. Episode number 23. Same number as Jordan, ironically. You know what I mean? Sorry I'm stumbling and stammering a little bit, but I just had a hell of a fucking morning. I just had a hell of a yesterday, and the day before that, I've been calling places, cursing people out and shit like that. Not because I'm irate or anything, because everybody's acting like they don't understand what I'm going through. And it's a lot of you guys out there that went through this and don't even know you went through this. And I'm going to tell you that right now. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, like, I had the cops come here today because of my grandfather. He know everything I'm going through. He's not my grandfather, by the way. But he basically set us up to lose this property and everything. He basically set us up to lose this property and everything. He started a bullshit argument with me about nothing. This property been ours, but it's also been the city's as well, right? Because of things that you do for bill reasons and shit like that. But now I'm finding out that this dude, well, not now finding out, I've been trying to tell everybody that this dude is basically just going to dissolve this property and everything and take his country ass back down south with his family down there, and that be that. You know what I mean? That's what he was doing. Yo, these people are so fucking scandalous. The Scannapicos are so fucking scandalous. Stephanie Scanapico, right? If you look on one of her pages, she's a home health aide. She got my Uncle Fred out of here for this nigga, because he's friends with them. For this nigga, for Alonzo M. Brown. She got my uncle out of there. Stephanie Scanapico got my uncle out of there, right? Then, years later, they started fucking with my life, and I've been fucking with my life. Got with this bitch who made me fall in love with her and all this crazy shit, right? Come to find out, you know what I mean? Because I helped her mom out before. And then come to find out, these bitches were setting me up the whole time for him, for Alonzo M. Brown. So that's what they do. Alonzo M. Brown is the whole reason why this shit happened. My grandmother's husband. And I called the FBI today, and they said there ain't nothing they could do about it because technically he was her husband. So technically he could do whatever he want with the properties and shit like that. But it still stands there. They not gonna help me because this is a citywide thing. He's an operative. He's an operative. He was paid to do some shit. I don't know what the fuck. But anyway, he's an op. Pop is an op, right? Operative for the CIA, government, FBI, whatever you want to call it. But the whole thing is, these people been setting our family up for a long time. They set my mom up, made her go schizophrenic or whatever. Now she in Jersey. She's scared to even come to Philly, I believe. So we got this man in our family setting our whole family up on some type of shit. And it's being done through him, probably from the Scannapicos, because I doubt a dumb motherfucker like this could have that much power under his belt, right? So the Scannapicos are basically using him to set our family up and been doing it for a long time. I've been trying to get the message out there and everything. Today, we finally, shit came to air. He gonna try to put me out my grandmother's house that he somehow stole, you know what I mean, with the lawyers and shit. Then somehow he got the deed. He wouldn't even had the deed if I wouldn't have put it back in his fucking hand. Right? Before my grandmother passed away, she asked me to give him the deed or whatever, because I had control of the deed. Now he has the control of the deed. So now he want to seem like he could do this and do that. He got the deed back from me. Then going to try to put me out the crib. That's my grandmother's house. He know how my grandmother got this crib, and I know how my grandmother got this crib. Right? Through Russell Foreman. He couldn't get it from Russell Foreman because Russell Foreman ain't want what he had. He wanted Dorothy Brodus, and that's how she got this house. Okay? Bottom fucking line. This whole thing's been a setup, been a sham. And it's a shame because you find these old motherfuckers out here, right? And these old motherfuckers be doing scams that's lifelong, generations long. These old motherfuckers do scams in this city through whatever orders they with and all that shit. And they get tied to these orders and everything, so that way they'll have a level of inevitability. This way they can't get tracked down. This way they can't get caught for the evil shit that they do in your life. You know what I mean? They had my grandmother die on my daughter's birthday. And now this nigga put me through all this shit. And he made it evident that he didn't give a fuck. He made it evident. Like, you know how motherfuckers just so stupid, they don't even know how to hide they real intentions with their actions? That's how he don't know how to hide his real intentions with his actions. He's stupid. I mean, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So that's the thing out here, right? These old motherfuckers been setting this shit up for a while. Had these motherfuckers getting mail sent to my grandmother's house. Had these motherfuckers get my grandma's, had my mom schizophrenic. Had these motherfuckers do whatever they did at the hospital to make my grandmother pass away on my daughter's birthday. You know what I mean? And I think this is a whole family set. I think the whole family is in cahoots, man. And it's fucked up. It's a real fucked up situation, but that's what it is. You know what I mean? The devil, I'm going to tell you like this. The devil or whatever negative energy or entity that's out there, he work on children of God through their family, friends, and the people in their immediate environment all throughout. And if you don't know, you'll be susceptible to either be being used against these people of hearts of gold or whatever. You'll be susceptible to be being used against them. Or if you're aware of the programming and the shit that's going on, you'll be more susceptible or prone to helping those people. Because they will set you up with everybody in your life. They will set you up with everybody in your life. And he had the nerve to say, you was fucking them. Like I was fucking, you know what? That guy crazy, man. He probably mad that I fucked one of the Scanner Picos. I had intercourse. Let me stop saying that because it's not funny. It's not funny at all because that was used to actually set me up. But yeah, I had intercourse with both the Scanner Pico, the older one and the younger one. And that was done to set me up. And he knew that. He knew that. And they both knew that. That's why they thought it was cool to do. You know what I mean? But it's okay because I'm on their ass. And I'm still in the same house. I even told the cops because you know what he'd do sometimes? He would act like he want to shoot me or something when I'm coming in here late at night. When I'm leaving to do whatever I got to do for myself. And you know what I mean? In my family, trying to get myself ahead. He would act like he want to almost don't know who's coming in the door or something so he could shoot me or whatever. Every night, this is what he do. So I got to make noise and shit like that when I'm coming in. So he know it's not nobody trying to break in on his ass. He know it's not nobody breaking in the whole time. This confirms it. He just been wanting to plug my ass to get me the fuck out the way probably. You know, one thing about it, I knew all this shit and been suspecting this shit for a long time. But it's different when you can see everything happening and when it's just a suspicion of yours. When you can see all this shit happening, when you can see, because I knew this shit was coming. I knew this shit was going to happen eventually. And look what just happened. It seems like everything just piles on top of each other. And the whole thing is sad because I grew up with this man as a grandfather all my life. And then after the person I feel like is the only person that ever loved me passes away, this is how the fuck he treats me. A person that kicked the door in when I was a baby, locked in the fucking room after my mom locked me in a room or whatever. Kicked the door in and helped me and laid me on his chest. This is the repayment I get from that man. A man that I took baths with as a child, as a baby, as an infant, as a toddler. The man who changed my fucking diapers, you know what I mean? This is what I get from him. This is what the system do to you. It's heartless. They don't give a fuck about you. This is why I don't give a fuck about America, because I know he's an operative. And the thing about it is, you would think if you was raised by a man who was doing COINTELPRO for all these years, you would think that he would at least have the decency to let you know one day what's going on or why you this way or why this happened this way. You would think a person had the decency to do that. But they don't even love you enough to do that. They just rather uproot themselves, get you the fuck out of there, and them move on with their life. That's what they rather do. Honest to God's truth. It pains to say that, but you don't really, if it's not your kids nowadays, you really have nobody. If it's not biological kids or somebody that you can really connect to, you really don't have nobody nowadays. And this is what it teaches you. This was going on out here. They played this man against his own fucking grandson for years. And he probably never thought that I'd find all this shit out. And now that I found out, He want to act like I'm some type of threat. No, I'm never going to threaten you. I'm never going to threaten you. He even told the cops that I threatened his life. I never once threatened this man's life in my life. Not once. Always been here for this man. I saved this house from fucking house fires that he probably set. Now that I think about it, he probably tried to get this motherfucker burnt down or something. I had to save this motherfucking house. I had to jump in front of a gun for my grandmother. I saved this house from people trying to break in this motherfucker. I done did so much shit for that man. And this is the type of shit you get. This is the type of repayment you get. Sad, man. It's just sad when you come to these type of realizations. When you know what I mean? Like, I pray to God nobody had to ever deal with this type of shit. And I pray to God that if this whole shit is, I pray to God that if this shit, if it's found out to be just the way that I know it is, I don't want God to have mercy on none of them motherfuckers. You know how they say that God, you only experience God's grace and mercy through another person, through another living being? God shouldn't have no grace and mercy on any of these motherfuckers that did this shit. I don't give a fuck if they family. Ken, I don't give a fuck what it is. I don't give a fuck if somebody used them to do it and threatened their life to do it, to make sure they did it. You never do that type of shit to somebody that you supposedly grew up with, loved, raised, and all that type of shit. You never do that type of shit. Even after I knew all this shit, I never came in his neck. I just figured I'd figure out all this shit and I would just turn it in and let the fucking authorities deal with it. That's what I was doing. But instead, he want to keep fucking with me. Because I know the neighbors and everything they know about this shit or probably don't know about this shit, but he told them, he does, see what he does is he loudly talks shit about you. That way he discredits your character. He's one of them loudmouth country motherfuckers. So he'll loudly talk shit about you to discredit your character or loudly talk to you to demasculate you, to make it seem like he's your authority, like he's your fucking boss or somebody. That's what he do. A lot of women do that to people too. You know what I mean? And that's not right. You know what I mean? To be honest, I believe my grandma had Stockholm syndrome. In the last days of her life, when I would look at them two laying in bed, he would look on the opposite side of the room and she would look on the other. Like he didn't even love her. To be honest with you. You know? So there you go. That's that in a fucking nutshell. I basically came on here recorded because all this shit just happened today. Me and him had an argument. He said something to me. I said something to him. And I basically let him have it and basically told him everything that I know to believe to be true. Right? Gave it to him all. So then he tried to pull a fast one because he figured if I know all this shit, he don't want nothing to happen. He tried to call the cops and had them escort me out the crib and shit. But he don't know this is my dwelling. This is my domain. So he can't come in this motherfucking room at all. He can't do shit to this room or that bathroom, because that bathroom is my dwelling too. So he can't do shit to this room or up here. Or now I can call the cops on him on some shit. See what I mean? And I got a DC report number because I told them about the activity that happens whenever I'm coming in and out this house. He said that he won't try to change the locks. They already told him that he can't do that because if you do that, I'm kicking in the door because I do live here. So, at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know what I mean? He do what he got to do. I'm going to do what I got to do. Because either way, I'm going to be coming in here to get my shit in and out of here and do what I got to do for my life that I should have been doing all along. And he know it too. And that shit was very wrong. Like a dude that know you just lost your grandmother a couple months ago. A dude that been your grandfather for all this fucking time, right? Still on your ass about what? And he put them people in my life. He put them people in my life. He helped them set me up. He seen them people in my life and he said nothing about it. That's as good as doing it your fucking self. If you see somebody in your grandson's life and you know what the fuck is going on and you don't say nothing about it, you as good as did that shit, right? But he want to act like a dickhead and act like I'm just like a nut-ass nigga or something and like act like I ain't going to say nothing about it. And I don't want to say nothing to him about it because if I would have, it would have been bloodshed probably. Me and him would have been fighting or cutting or something. That's why I left it alone. I just left it alone, and I'm building this case on his nut ass and the rest of my family if they got something to do with it. Period. And I'm saying this loudly and proudly because I hope that if he's listening that he can hear this and know that this is all being documented and is all being out there, put out into the public. So, yeah, there you go. That's what that is. And I believe he's a Mason or Eastern Star, or well, women are Eastern Star. He's a Mason. So I believe they set up through the organization and all that to have all this shit done so that way they could get it done under the guise of the law, under the guise of anybody noticing it's going to happen or happening. So this is what they do, okay? It's not no spooky wooky. I mean, it is some spooky wooky bullshit, but a lot of us believe that, you know what I mean, it's the government or it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. No. It be the people in your personal life that be tied into secret organizations that be having a bunch of nut shit happening in your life. Seriously. Check the elders. Check the older people that might not fuck with you. They be having a lot of nut shit happening in your life. Your own grandpop, grandmom, or whatever. If they not your blood related or whatever, you can't really trust them. I'm telling that to everybody. It's a public service announcement. If you got a grandparent or anybody that ain't blood related to you, you better check them the fuck out because you really can't trust them. That's a public service announcement to everybody. You know what I mean? All that younger man, older woman shit, they should dead that shit. Because I'm going to tell you, a lot of these niggas be taking these older women down for their shit and it working vice versa. A lot of these bitches will take down an older man for their shit. So y'all got, you know what I mean, get with whoever the fuck you belong to get with and make sure it ain't no equal opposite type of shit because everybody out here about the scheme. That's what it is. And I'm not fucking with nobody no more. I can't even fuck with my own grandpop no more. That nigga ain't even my grandpop no more. That's how I look at it. For that nut shit he just did to me, don't even talk to me. Don't call me. Period. That's how I feel about a lot of people. And that's fucked up because he probably helped my mom go schizophrenic. You know what I mean? Like, that's not cool to do to a family of people, man. Like, whatever evil agenda that you serve is not godly, is not of God, is demonic, and you shouldn't be doing that type of shit. To people that's raising kids and people trying to live an everyday fucking life. And then you throw something in their face like it's their fault when you already know how they do. When you already know they play in your mind and they play on your desires and the little shit like that. And you help them. Calling that woman little mouth. Calling that woman little mouth. Calling that fucking woman little mouth. And he know who I'm talking about. He know what I'm talking about. Calling that woman little mouth so it'll be enticing to get a dick sucked from this lady. See? That's how innuendos work. He don't know that I'm that fucking smart though. That's how innuendos work. Subtle innuendos. Little mouth, ha ha ha, little mouth. He give out the innuendos that way. I'm like, damn, why he calling a little mouth for running around like that? So he must have been getting his dick sucked by her, right? That's telling me that offhand. And then my grandma was alive at the time. So that's disrespect first and foremost right in front of her face. Then psychologically, that's making me want to dick suck from her too. Like little mouth, I want to experience that little mouth. Like what the fuck? That's how men think, right? That's what the fuck he did. That's how the Masons do, rhetoric. That's how they play on you. And he know that shit. And he covering it up. And it's so fucking sad that he can't even admit or any of that shit. He won't admit or none of that shit. So his allegiance never was to somebody who loved him. His allegiance was to an order that just wanted to fuck over somebody's life that somebody who really loved him. I'm telling you, man. This shit is wicked. This shit is wicked. That's why I don't even bring my kids over here to see this motherfucker no more. That's why I'd rather just have my kids stay where they at. So that way, you know what I mean, I can have my kids safe. I believe my mom knew a lot of this shit too, but she ran off. I mean, I don't blame her. I mean, I do kind of be on like, damn, like you could have did more to told a motherfucker about this shit. But if they play on your mind, how the fuck could I know how can I know to speak up about this type of shit? But people older than me don't got no fucking common sense to speak up about this shit. What, y'all that fucking scared? Did this man really believe that they was the mob or the mafia or some fucking body? See, because that's what it is. He probably believed that they was really the mob or the mafia or something because they Irish and Italian. So he probably believed they was really the fucking mob and the fucking mafia and all that shit. And he's just scared. You're a big scared ass nigga. I'm not, though. I'll put you out there. For mine, for people I love, I will put you all the way the fuck out there. I do not give a fuck. You understand me? That's how I am. I can't help that I'm like that. I get it from my grandmama. My mama ran. I can't say that. I get it from my grandmama. I want to go on record and say any organization or person that knew about this and conspired or helped with this or didn't help with this at all, you're complacent in this shit happening. If you knew about it and did nothing about it or didn't warn anybody or didn't say shit or whatever, you're complicit in this happening. He probably think he don't got nothing to do with this shit, but he even got to pay for this shit on the day of judgment. And he know that. He even got to pay for this shit on the day of judgment, and he know that. The Scanner Picos got to pay for this shit on the day of judgment, and they know that. And I know it's souls all up there watching this shit happening, and they going to make sure these motherfuckers pay in this life and in the next. That's all I got to say about it. Thank you for tuning in for this episode of God Concept. Tune in again where I tell you about the rest of my adventures and my exploitations of what's going on in Philadelphia and this Masonic orders and the Eastern Stars and the fucking CIA, FBI, and all that bullshit. Because these niggas got this city sold the fuck up. I swear to God, bro. All right.